Hello everybody. Hi. Oh, I'm so happy to be here again with you. Hi, my name is Christina from the channel Serbian Raw Vegan, and I am so happy to be making a video like this. I realized that I haven't really made many videos where I am in front of the camera talking to you, and I've been mostly in the kitchen showing you the food and what I eat. So I just wanted to sit down a little bit like this. I do have, wait for it, ta-da! I have a lot of grapes today, of course. I'm not grape feasting anymore. I stopped that about 2 weeks ago. Yeah, about 2 weeks ago. But they're still in season, so yeah, I love eating grapes. Grapes are so good. Grapes are good for your lymphatic system, to help keep your body nice and clean, very astringent, and I hope you love eating grapes. Make sure you find, dark, the darker the better. And they're sweet. So yeah, some of these can be a little sour, especially if they're underripe. So just make sure that you've got dark ripe grapes that you can eat, and make sure you wash them well. I cannot find organic grapes in my country. I've never seen it. So yeah, just make sure I wash them really well with baking soda and vinegar solution and water, right? And yeah, I just wash it, and I have this big bowl. Again, let me show you. So I've realized that this is enough for me. Like when I do this bowl, I already had some, so this was a little fuller before, but this is like breakfast and lunch for me. And then later tonight, I'll be having a salad. I'm back on eating salads more, and we'll see how that works out. One thing that a couple of things that I am still avoiding are garlics and spicy foods, onions, garlics, stuff like that. I did get a little bit of ginger, but yesterday I had a cucumber salad that was so good, like cucumber noodles that I made with a sauce, with a dressing, sesame dressing, and I did put some ginger in it, so that was really delicious. Very simple, very delicious, and it was good for me. Like afterwards it was okay. I didn't have any issues, but when I stopped eating grapes and I made a mistake there, I went back to eating the salads. I think I stopped eating on, like, the last grape meal, only grapes, was like day 20, and then the next day for dinner I had a salad and I used some onions. Yeah, onions and some garlic, I think I had. Or just onions, I can't remember. I think it was just onions, like young onions, green onions. And my stomach was not happy. For a couple of days, it took time to recover, I guess. I was going to the toilet, but not as good as it should have been. So be careful if you ever grape feast on your own. Don't eat spicy foods afterwards. I mean, you can try it. Maybe you'll be fine. I wasn't. So my stomach didn't like that. So after that, I went back on eating mostly fruits. I did have a salad with like tomatoes, cucumbers, and avocado, and a bell pepper, but no spicy foods. And I'm sticking to that now as well, except the ginger. And I will be adding ginger later this week to my ABC juice, apple, beetroot, and carrot, which is really delicious. Yeah, so maybe I'll make a separate video on what I bought yesterday and what I'll be eating throughout the week. But yeah, let me tell you today a little bit about myself. I realized that I have never introduced myself, and I feel like it's really important for people who watch my videos to know a little bit about me and who I am, and where my health background comes from, like, how I got here to becoming raw vegan. So let's see, where do I begin? Okay, so first of all, I grew up in a family where we were not health conscious people. My parents were not into exercising or eating healthy foods. They ate regular foods that everybody else did, which meant a lot of oils, sugars, salt, a lot of processed cooked foods, lots of meats, processed meats, some snacks, junk foods, and stuff like that. So for me, growing up, I was given a lot of sugar. I was given a lot of salt, because basically when you look at the ingredients, for any kind of food, you'll see sugar and salt. Oftentimes, all products contain either one of them or both of them. So I was consuming a lot of that. And when you're a child, you don't really get to choose. You eat what your parents give you or your family gives you, and you think you're eating that because that's good for you, because they know it's good for you, or you think they know it's good for you. And until I was 15, 16, I continued eating that way. I had a really bad relationship with food. And going to school, in Serbia, we don't have canteens, or we don't really even have lunch time per se. We do have a 20-minute break between lessons, so that's kind of that means it's time to eat something if you're hungry. And for me, that meant I would be eating some type of snack most of the time. Most of the time for me, actually, that was salted sticks that we can buy here in Serbia. And that because I come from a family that did not have a lot of money either. My father was never really here. He was busy working, and that was his excuse to run away from the family. Apparently, he was not a family man, so I was mainly brought up by my mother. My mother was a beautiful, wonderful woman who tried really hard to keep our family together, because she wanted my sister and I to grow up in a nice, happy environment. But she also had to work hard, and coming from a background where there was no knowledge about health, I guess, I'm so grateful I found this way. Thanks to the internet, and thanks later to social media and YouTube and all that, I was able to start learning more about it. And this is why I'm here now, because I was able to wake up and become more conscious about what I'm consuming from all aspects, emotionally, physically, spiritually. And when I back in 2014, until that time, I was eating a lot of processed foods, like I said, and I was trying my best to eat and survive. Basically, that was it. Like, I was not eating to feel alive and to have the energy, but I was eating more to stay alive so I don't die, even if that meant eating bad food. So 2014, the internet was more available then. Of course, when I was growing up, when I was a teen, when I was in I was 12, 13, 14, around that time, we still did not really have the internet the way we do today, and I was not able to get a lot of information. The information we were able to get about health was from magazines, but then again, that's just copy and paste, and I did not know it back then. But I thought that reading magazines and reading parts about like health and all that, dieting, that was good for me. And I guess that was my way of learning then. So we got the internet, and I was able to find raw veganism. So at that time, 2014, I found Fully Raw Christina on YouTube. And she was looking really good. She had long hair, and she looked really, really happy and vibrant and energetic and all that. And I was like, that's it. This is what I gotta do. Again, having zero knowledge now about raw veganism and what it means. We still did not have a lot of money, so I was not able to afford a lot of fruits and vegetables. I thought, because she had type 2 diabetes when she was a teen, and she met this guy who told her about her health, about her body and what's happening, and why she should try eating more fruits and vegetables. And so she started by eating, the way she shared in her videos, she shared that she had peaches. This man told her to pick a fruit and to eat only that fruit for a few days, and she chose peaches. It was a summer season, and she said, okay, I'll eat peaches. So she was having peaches breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and after 3 days she was feeling better. So I said, okay, of course I was never diabetic, not that I know of, but I said, like, I'm feeling sluggish, I'm low energy, I'm tired, I'm not happy, I'll just try eating some fruits that I can find and that I can afford for. And at that time, that was apples, bananas, oranges. It was the winter season. We were kind of coming into the winter, maybe September, October, something like that. And so I could only get these 3, and I think that was it. Yeah, so I was basically eating for 3 days, or a week. Yeah, something like that. It was like maybe a week. I was eating bananas, oranges, apples. I'm trying to think if I had any other fruits or vegetables, but I don't think so. Yeah, because the cheapest fruit was bananas back then, and I was like, I'm gonna be fine. Yeah, I'll be fine. And after about a week or 2 weeks of doing this, I think for one meal I tried eating raw cauliflower. I made a salad with cauliflower and broccoli, and I think I maybe added some cucumbers or tomatoes. I can't remember. But oh my god, I was farting like crazy after that. I was like, that's not it. This is not a salad. This is not how you... This is how much knowledge I had about raw veganism and how to do it properly. And that was the first and the last salad I had with cauliflower and broccoli. Stupid, I know, but I didn't know better. And so about 2 weeks later, me becoming raw vegan, I decided to do a blood test, just to check my levels. And in the past, I used to have a lot of iron levels, iron deficiency, and so I just wanted to see where I am with that. So I did my blood test, I got my results, and I was low. I was deficient in iron. And of course, telling my mother that I'm now raw vegan, that was, it's like you slap her hard. You're gonna die of protein deficiency. Please eat, you gotta eat something. And, so I said, Mom, please calm down. There's this girl, she's been doing it for several years now, and I'm gonna be fine. Like, I'm just trying this out. And so she kind of, in a way accepted it. Not fully, but she did not bother me. She stopped. So I got low iron. And I was like, oh my god, this is not good. Like, I'm doing something wrong. Again, not understanding the human body, not understanding the chemistry, anatomy, or physiology. I was low in iron, and I knew that at the time, you're low in something, you gotta supplement, or you gotta eat more of the foods that contain certain vitamin or nutrient to avoid being low or deficient. So I was like, this raw veganism is not working for me. I'm not able to afford it. Of course, fruits and vegetables have always been much more expensive than other crap foods that we are not supposed to eat. But like, I was like, I got to do something else. And I continued researching more, and that's when I came across all these other people who were eating cooked vegan foods. So lots of rice, potatoes, lots of other vegetables, and that's when it became a bit more affordable for me. We could buy frozen vegetables. I was practically living on frozen vegetables at the time, and rice and potatoes and some pasta. Once in a while I did make my own pizzas. I was becoming more and more conscious of what goes into the food. I started reading the labels more and checking the ingredients out. I was just learning more about veganism. And I was really happy because in the beginning, coming off of meats and all the other additives, luckily I never smoked, I never drank coffee. I did try alcohol a few times and I never really liked it. My father liked drinking alcohol, and I never liked the way alcohol affects your body, and I kind of knew that it wasn't good for you. So I was never into those things, but food was my addiction. And so anyway, in the beginning, becoming vegan, coming off of meats and processed foods, I kind of became vegan, cooked vegan overnight. I was able to quickly give up meat and fish and other processed foods, bacons and stuff like that. I cut down on bread as well. I was eating more rice and potatoes and pastas. And I just felt I felt good. I felt better, and I was exercising. I was able to maintain my energy more. So I stayed that way. And then fast forward, of course, between all the stresses, having to find a job. I was already in my 20s and had to find a job to work and to provide. Of course, my father was not in the picture anymore. My mother she already got sick, so she had the C word when the first time it was 2006 when she discovered it. And of course, you know how that goes. treatment, surgery, treatment, chemo, radiation, and all that shit. And she was sick. Luckily, my father, I said he was out of the picture, but that first time when she got cancer, he was still there. But he didn't know how to deal with it. He was a special kind of person. And he was kind of staying away from her. It was like she was a disease, she was contagious, and he was trying to just keep away. He continued, doing his own thing, smoking and eating crap, and that's why he died in his 60s. But yeah, for me, I was around, I think 13 or something, and I wasn't really understanding what was happening to her. I did see her in bed. She was feeling bad, sick, tired, skinny. She was losing hair from the radiation, chemo, and it was chemo, I guess. Yeah, chemo that got her to lose her hair, her eyebrows. It was just a really hard period for her, and me not being able to help her understand what's happening. But she was able to jump over that. She was in remission. I hate these words, now that I'm even more awake than I was before, especially with her gone now, because she's gone. She was 59 when she passed. She had cancers all through her body. Thank you, doctors. You helped a lot. And I just became more conscious afterwards. She was able to jump over that, and she went back to her normal life. My father went abroad to work and to provide for the family, because as a construction worker, it was really hard for him to make enough money here. Eventually he was out of the picture. He stayed abroad and never returned. He actually did come back a few times, and then finally, just stopped coming back and stopped calling. So my mother, she got sick again after a few years of remission, and I was there. I was older now, and I was able to understand a little more about what's been going on, and I was really afraid. She was also afraid because she thought that it was hereditary, which in a way, when you look at it, it is, because you come from the same genetics and the same lymphatic system as your parents. And as it goes down generation to generation, it just becomes more and more lymphatically clogged up, the person like myself. That's why now I have the bags. I have a lymph node here in the neck, and I'll talk more about that. But so when she was, going back to 2014, me becoming vegan, she was again, when I said that this raw veganism is not working, I'm low in iron, she was like, great honey, you did a great job. Now can you please go back to eating regular foods? And I said no, because it's not the way it's supposed to go. If I was supposed to eat meat and drink milk for calcium and my bones, I wouldn't look the way you look, or father looked, because they were both a little bit overweight, never obese luckily, but overweight, and it was just fat and water staying in their body, so and I said no, because this is not the way it's supposed to be, because I'm not happy. I've been exercising, and so I've been exercising and trying to stay physically active for about 2 years before I became vegan in general, and I was not seeing results, and so I said, Mother, no, sorry, please let go. I'll research, and I will make sure I'm not doing this to kill myself. I'm doing this to become healthier and have more energy and look good and feel good. So I started eating more lentils, I think dates, I researched spinach and stuff like that. Cooking became my passion in a way, and I was able to search for more recipes. Of course, I was using English, because in Serbia at the time, talking about veganism or even raw veganism was an unknown term. People they don't simply understand. Still nowadays, many people get shocked when I tell them that I don't cook my food, which is kind of funny for me. So I started cooking more, and I still wasn't able to, funny thing, I wasn't able to fix my iron levels, so I did start supplementing. I was taking some honey with stinging nettle. Oh yeah, I was doing stinging nettle a lot at the time, and I did take some supplements back then. I grew up in a family where supplementation was normal, considering supplementation and taking like those vitamin tablets that you dissolve in water and shit like that. That was common. That was like a normal thing to do. So I was trying to raise my iron levels. Eventually I succeeded. I think that the honey, I did not want to supplement as much. So basically taking liquid iron with vitamin C was the only thing I did. I think the first time I was deficient, I was still eating a regular standard diet, and I was supplementing for iron. Funny, right? So I was able to fix my iron, and then it went back deficient again, and then I didn't want to take the liquid iron I was taking. I felt like I was licking lead, and I didn't like it anymore, and so my mother found an alternative. Honey with stinging nettle that somebody was making, so I started taking that because it was way better than the liquid iron I took before, and that the honey, the stinging nettle and honey were able to help me fix it again. So basically throughout my years I just had a fluctuation, and of course as a female, we get to bleed every month, so part of it goes into that, and I was just kind of fluctuating up and down with the iron. So I was cooking, I was becoming an adult, I had to find a job, father had left us, we were trying to think of ways to survive. I wanted to become a Zumba instructor. That was not something my mother permitted. I was under my mother's influence a lot, because I felt like she had this authoritarian role towards me, and I wasn't able to break off of that until the day she got really, really sick and couldn't be that bossy anymore. I mean, not that she was bossy, but she was very strict, and if she said no, it was really hard for me to say yes. I'm not gonna listen, for me to say no, and to say no, I'm not gonna listen to your no's and your rejections. So towards the days, like when the last time she got sick with it back in 2018, 2019, she started going back again to surgery and doctors and all that ball crap. That's when my health also deteriorated a bit more. Just sticking to a cooked vegan diet was not working anymore, and I think it was just basically that I was under stress. I was not feeding myself properly. I was always eating cooked, dry foods, because the truth is, when you look at the chemistry, the cooked foods are dried, dehydrating foods. You don't have to believe me if you don't want to. I mean, I've experienced it. I would always feel thirsty after eating cooked, whether that was breakfast or lunch. And at the time, I had a job where I had to talk a lot. Luckily, I was working from home, and I had to speak a lot in the day, and I was really thirsty during the day. So she got sick, and eventually I stopped eating. I was a caregiver now. She was okay. She was able to help herself. Again, let me finish this. So she was able to help herself still by walking, going, outside, getting the groceries, cooking, doing things. She was still able to move and be, in a way, active. But this lymphatic stagnation was taking a toll on her. And I did try telling her, trying to get her to change her ways. At the time, I was learning way more about raw foods, although I wasn't able to become 100% raw, because whenever I suggested it to her, she would always say that we did not have enough money to direct towards that. Although now, I think we could have made it work. If not fully raw, then staying high raw would have been even better. But I guess she preferred not changing, and until the day she wasn't able to eat anymore, she was eating oily, sugary, processed foods. She really loved eating some kind of so like in my country, we can buy these frozen cheese pies or spinach pies or mushroom pies, and then you just take it out, of the bag, put it in the oven and bake it. And she really loved eating that because it was delicious and kept her full. Oh, God. And I kept telling her, change your diet, please. And she kept saying that has nothing to do with it. So eventually she couldn't eat. She couldn't move. She fell into coma towards the end and she passed. And that was a very stressful moment for me. I was the only one living with her. My sister had moved out. Father was God knows where, for what we've known, somewhere in heaven or hell. It was really, really stressful. I ate when I really felt hungry, when I really felt like I was going to pass out. And I just ate. I would cook some rice and cook some frozen vegetables, steam them a bit. Cook them just a little bit in water because those were pretty much cooked, just frozen. So I would just, or they were like steamed and frozen. I mean, half. Yeah, it just took a few minutes to cook them from their frozen state. And I would just live on rice and some cooked veggies. And I basically had what they call now OMAD, one meal a day. So she passed away. Then the stress of organizing the funeral came and all that, the stuff that happens afterwards. And after a couple of months, like a month later or 2 months later, I realized that I had to change my ways as well. Now that I'm alone, like I don't have to be a caregiver, I don't have kids or pets, I don't have a husband, I don't have anyone else to take care of but myself now, I decided to switch to raw. And also because I found a lymph node that was a bit swollen. It's still, even nowadays after over 2 years, it can be really hard to notice it. Like you have to know where to palpate and to touch. But I was having some swollen lymph nodes, and I went to check that out. And when I was doing so I did the ultrasound. Another thing I was really, really careful about is doing any additional x-rays or scans and stuff like that. So I just decided to do a simple ultrasound to see what's how big it is and all that. The person who did the ultrasound was surprised that I only had it on one side, which shows the lack of knowledge there as well when it comes to chemistry and anatomy and physiology. I'm not saying I'm very, very proficient in it yet either, but I just nodded and I was like, okay, yeah, you have no idea what you're talking about. But this doctor recommended, it's kind of interesting because the doctors don't know why this is happening. And I guess for me at the time, it's like I became unconscious again. Like I had fallen asleep again. My mom passed. I was like, what if I get cancer? I need to go to the doctor and check it out and see what's happening there, And so I did go to my MD, of course, no ultrasound appointments. I had to do it privately, paid money to do it. So then the doctor was surprised I only have it on one side, not the other. And luckily the thyroid was not affected. Then she sent me to, she just gave me the result, and I was supposed to go to my MD. And then I went to my MD, and my MD, it's interesting because my MD said, oh, it's just lymphatic. But I don't know why, for me, for some reason, whether it was the death of my mom or whatever, I just nodded and I did nothing. I wanted to continue researching with the doctors. So she sends me to a ear, nose doctor, and she couldn't palpate that. I had to actually show her where it is. She had no idea why this was happening. She sends me to a maxillofacial surgeon, who also has no idea why this is happening, but he recommends going to a pathologist to get an extraction of the cell to see if it's benign or malign. Is that how you say it? If it's good or bad. So I end up making a mistake. I go to a dermatologist. Because a friend of mine asked me, did you go to a dermatologist yet? Have you been there? And I was like, no, I'm going to go there. And I forgot it was a pathologist I was supposed to go to. So I ended up going to a dermatologist. She has no idea why this is here. It's not on the skin, so it's not her job to take care of it. And you should go to, look at your, and I wasn't I had kind of like a prescription the doctors give for another doctor to go to. And it's that pathologist. And she looks at it and she's like, oh, look, you need to go to a pathologist. Oh, I see. Oh, I'm so sorry. Like, yeah, I'm so sorry. I just said, I'm sorry. I guess I misunderstood or something. And after that, I left. Of course, going to a dermatologist here, you don't make any appointments. You go there and you give your health card and you wait. And I stayed there all day. Like, I was among the last patients to be received. And after I went, it was already dark. I was like, I'm so excited I can go home finally and eat some food and stuff like that. And that's like the moment I left the building, I said, this is it. These MFs, I don't wanna swear, but I'm gonna say these motherfuckers don't have any idea what's happening to me, and I'm just gonna continue researching by myself. And I think many people would probably disagree with me, saying that I should have gone to a pathologist and that they should have done an extraction and check what it was and how dangerous it was and stuff like that. But when you look at that, what can happen with the removal of a cell is that you can end up getting lymphedema, which is the swelling, because you're removing one part of your body in a way, and then you're disrupting your lymphatic system. So fast forward today, this is still here, but it's not growing, and that tells me something, and I still have some other issues, but I know that I can heal myself as soon as I find enough time to focus 100% on myself, because I had to move this year. I had to make sure I had enough money for everything that's needed, and I have a crazy family member where we are involving now court and lawyers and stuff like that. I don't want to get into details about it, but you can just imagine, it takes money to do all of this. So far I have never been able to just focus on my health 100%, but I'm sure that when I continue, I will be able to eventually fix everything, all the issues that I'm having currently, especially with the bags under the eyes and this lymph node in here. And the problem is that it's in the neck, so it's kind of high, right? I mean, the lymphatic system is a very detailed system in our body, and it can take a long time to heal, depending on the modalities you apply and your lifestyle generally, and how much you sleep and stress and everything. So that's me. I don't come from a knowledgeable family when it comes to health. They were always working, they were always busy trying to provide, and it was just like a vicious cycle they were in, and now they're not here anymore. And I'm really grateful that nowadays we have the social media, we have the internet, and although it's become a very negative place to be, luckily we still have people who are conscious enough and who are able to live this lifestyle in a really good way, not failing, because I've seen a lot of raw vegans and cooked vegans on social media fail. Of course, none of them were from my country, because people in here are asleep, basically. I only know one other girl from my country, but again from social media, not personally, who has been raw vegan for over 10 years. Or it's been maybe 10 years for her, something like that, like for a long time. She was able to stay on the diet, but again in winter she goes to Thailand, which is something I hope to do someday, fingers crossed. I'll be going to a warm tropical climate when it's winter here, so I can eat all the yummy fruits. Okay, I think I need a grape now because I'm getting hungry, so just give me a second. So delicious. And these are seeded. In my country you can get seedless grapes, but they're twice as expensive, although they do taste nicely, I think. Just expensive for me, so I don't mind eating the seeded ones. And I eat all of it, the skin, the seeds, everything. I even chew on the seeds, and I feel like the seeds act like a really nice scrubbing brush. Yeah, so really delicious. Yeah, so I'm gonna stick to this. Another thing is I live in a family now where they are not health conscious. I mean, oh my god, like I had candida. Luckily that's cleared out. I had to stay on fruits a lot. I felt that despite what other people say, fruit sugar is good for you. It's not the sugar that's the problem, it's the adrenal glands, and not having strong adrenal glands and the kidneys and not filtering, not going to the toilet the way you're supposed to, and all that, like, you know, food staying, fermenting in your body, just cause candida. And I was eating a lot of potatoes. Before I became raw, I was eating a lot of potatoes. I did not notice, like, I noticed the candida, but at the same time I decided to ignore it. Yes, I got candida. My whole, like, my big toes were covered. I just had another layer. Luckily that's cleared out. My nails are growing again, which is amazing, guys, because my nails, on my big toe, right? They stopped growing. The other nails, like on my hands, they were growing. On my feet, the other toes, they were growing, but the big toes were not. So they are now. Thank you, fruit. Where was I? So yeah, I had candida and I cleared that out, and now I live with family members who, I mentioned the candida because they told me you need protein. Your nails, and of course I had brittle nails because of the candida. My nails were not able to grow properly, they were breaking off and all that. Of course my nails are growing now, so don't get me wrong, I still have work to do. My nails are growing now, but they still need to be stronger. I need to have stronger nails, and I've done a lot of cleansing, and I guess my body was trying to get rid of the stuff that was weak, partly my nails. So I'm still learning, I'm still building myself back up. I'm, having these moments where I'm like eating only fruit when I feel like it's the best. For the past 2 weeks I've felt better, except the work burnout. I have felt better eating fruits and just mono-mealing and eating simple dishes. But yeah, I'm still trying to clean out all the stuff that's, it's not just what you ate yesterday or what you ate last month. It's what you've been fed your whole life. It's what your mother consumed when she was pregnant with you, It's all that. It's what her mother consumed, your grandmother, right? What her mother consumed when she was pregnant with your mom. It's not just, I ate a hamburger last month and now I'm having problems because of that. No, that's not how the body works. It takes time to build up the crap, and it takes time to remove it. So yeah, eat protein. Your nails are breaking down. Yeah, I'm told your nails are breaking down because you need to eat more protein. I said, okay. I just said, okay. I actually tried fighting that fact. That's not even a fact. That's misinformation. So I tried fighting that. I said, are you crazy? Do you want protein to break down my kidneys? And they tried, kind of offering me meat, and tried to unconsciously feel sorry for me. Does that make sense? Like, not unconsciously, I don't know how to say it, but like they were kind of, in a sarcastic way, feeling sorry for me, that they were eating meat and I was not. I was eating my salad without salt. That's another thing, how addicted to salt this family is. Thanks to all my research so far, all the things I've learned through social media, through the internet, through different books, I'm remaining strong. I know that this is the lifestyle I'm supposed to follow because I've seen people work on it, stay consistent to the diet and be able to stay healthy, or at least way healthier than they would have been had they gone back to eating cooked vegan, or even gone back to eating regular standard, the standard diet they were eating. I know that I feel better. Before making this video, I was like, what am I supposed to talk about today? And so I was also thinking about some of the symptoms that I actually stopped experiencing. And I guess it can be really hard to notice the things that are not there anymore for you, the issues, the symptoms that are not there for you. But because, at least for me, like, I still focus on the things I still do have. But some of the things that I don't experience anymore, I don't experience bloating. I can still continue, I can have bloatedness. I can still bloat if I combine my foods in an improper way. I can bloat. So I don't bloat. I try to, keep that's why I mono meal. That's why I try to keep my dinners. If I'm having a salad for dinner, I try to keep it as simple as possible. Try to keep less ingredients because it's easier to process and digest. So yeah, bloating is gone. What else? I don't have any. I used to have a lot of sugar cravings, like sugary foods, I used to have salt cravings. Not in a way where I would like think about adding sugar when it comes to sugar, right? Adding sugar to my food, or not in a way where I thought like eating sweet potato. I mean, not adding sugar. I know that white sugar is processed, and I disagree with those who add that to their diets. But I did want to eat more sugar. I was just thinking sugar. So maybe not processed as in sweets, candies, crap like that, but more as in fruit. Like I kept thinking I needed more fruit because I wasn't eating enough. That's another thing. When you go on a raw vegan diet, you have to consume more calorie wise, or like a bigger amount of fruits. So eating one banana is not enough, but eating 6 to 7 bananas should be okay. It can be a meal for a person, again depending on your size and your consumption, energy consumption, and all that. So I just kept thinking I need more sugar, as in fruit sugar. But when it came to salt, I just wanted to add more salt. Craving salt means low adrenal glands. Low adrenal glands can also mean kidney issues and not filtering. And although my adrenals are not, I am getting there, definitely. I think I have been improving. You can check easily, one test you can do to check your adrenals and your kidneys is to do a blood test, blood pressure. If you have the machine, check your blood pressure and do both left and right, because you have both sides, the left kidney and the left adrenal for the left side, the right kidney and the right adrenal for the right side. Keep that in mind. And check your blood pressure. You should be with the top around 120, 130, and the bottom between 60 to 70. If you're lower or higher, you got to work on that. Check your pee. Do you have sediment? That's how I started. I've been getting better and better day after day with all things considered, by getting better because I am able to filter more. And I have been working on my adrenals and trying to, meditating, and I keep saying trying because I haven't always been 100% successful due to other things that are not always in my control. But so going back to salt, I was craving a lot of salt, and I continued adding salt until a couple of months ago. I think this year I finally quit eating salt. The last time, I tried adding salt a few weeks ago. I made a salad and I just put a little bit of salt on top of the salad, and I ate that, and that didn't feel well. I was eating salt, but my taste buds felt like it was wrong. I don't know, it just felt wrong eating salt. I can't describe it, but I guess, it was stopping the addiction for a few months, and then trying to go back just felt wrong again. So I'm not consuming any salt, actively consuming, for now at least. I don't plan on going back on that. I have been thinking about buying some nori sheets. They are a sea vegetable. They're baked, so I'm not raw. But I haven't had that Yeah, so maybe occasionally I'll eat that. I really want to make some kind of sushi, raw vegan sushi. I've never done that. So I'm not perfect, but staying away from salt as much as I can. For now, at least, I don't consume any salt, unless celery can count. So I do have celery juice. I do mix celery with, I started mixing celery recently with other vegetables to make juice. So that's it for the salt, and I'm not craving it. Like right now I'm thinking about salt, like the salt, and I was using pink Himalayan salt, which is considered like a healthier option, but I don't crave it now, you know. So it just tells me that I'm changing, my body's changing. I am slowly getting better and better. There's no shortcut. I thought that, you know, like watching videos and hearing people talk about how like they were able to reverse their diseases in 6 months or in 1 year, and that's not me. I guess that's not me, and it takes time, and there's no shortcut. There's no a snap and, you know, get there. I cannot jump over, I cannot skip anything. I just have to stay consistent and make sure I eat enough, make sure I don't stress too much like the way I have been. Yeah, try to keep that, try to find that balance and try to stick to it, and make sure I always eat enough and sleep enough and rest enough and all of that. So yeah, I think that's about it for this video. I don't want to make this video too long, and then maybe I'll make another video just talking about the holidays next. So thank you so much for watching and listening. Thank you for, like, if you came all the way like to the end of this video, thank you so much for that. I hope you subscribe, I hope you like these videos, and I hope you share, and I hope it helps you. Again, I'm not an expert, I'm not a doctor, thank God. I'm not, you know, like a regular medical doctor or anything like that. I'm just somebody who has been learning a lot about health. I'm somebody who lost parents. I mean, I was 29 when my mother passed, and I feel like we could have had more time together had she wanted to change, and I'm just here to inspire myself and to inspire others through these videos, so that whenever I feel down, whenever life hits me hard, I can come back to these videos and listen to myself and actually be my own motivational speaker. I hope to help others as well, because if you don't have your health, you have nothing. Nothing else matters. And when my mom was dying, I could see how fast the body can deteriorate. In just a couple of months, she was gone. From like the last, I mean, she had like 2 or 3 surgeries, and so many times she had chemo and radiation and took medication and checkups and everything, and all the scans and all the acidity in her body. And her body deteriorated at such a rate that it was so sad to watch, until she stopped excreting in any way possible, and went to sleep. Okay, just, yeah, it's been 3 years, and still, you know, talking about it just kind of brings back the pictures and moments and all the stress I went through. So that's why I hope to inspire you guys. I hope you continue being curious. I hope you make wiser choices. I hope that you strive towards becoming healthier and becoming better versions of yourself, that you don't go on some stupid diets and try to restrict yourself in any way, shape, or form, to be conscious about what you consume, to be conscious about what you eat, drink, listen to, who you surround yourself with, and how you fill up your time. So thank you so much for listening and watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.